You're tuned to WFHB
91.3
and 98.1 FM.
Volunteer powered,
listener supported.
Community radio for South Central Indiana.
There tends to be a little baptism by fire here. When you get going, it seems chaotic, but it's easy to find a place where you fit in.
We're here. We are live. We are local. We are all about community, and we are diverse.
This would never happen at any other radio station I've been at. The sort of spontaneity and talent and enthusiasm and happiness.
It has given me a way to express myself.
I'm not even good at technology, but this is really, really simple. Like, anyone can learn this.
The idea for WFHB was born in 1975 when two Bloomington residents got to talking about how great it would be to have a radio station that featured the music of local performers. It took many years and a lot of work to get the station off the ground, but in 1993, WFHB, Bloomington Community Radio, finally went on the air broadcasting out of a small shack 13 miles south of town. 35 years later, housed in an historic fire station in downtown Bloomington, WFHB has grown to include more than 200 volunteers who bring the station's mix of diverse music and unique news and public affairs programming to Bloomington, Ellettsville, Nashville, and other communities across South Central Indiana. Volunteers participate in many different ways, as DJs, sound engineers, interviewers, and news reporters. Without them, WFHB wouldn't be possible.
I started volunteering here in 2004 just because I wanted more access to music. I was finding myself in a music deficit, and I've always been a listener to FHB since I came here in '97. And they have a very open format for everyone to just come in, so that's what I did. I just showed up, and I ended up doing a music mix from 3 to 6 a.m. On Saturday nights for about 4 months to start off.
I found this community radio station, and a couple weeks later I was talking to him by email. A couple weeks after that I was in the volunteer program, and a month later I was on the air. And that's how things tend to work around here, is that if you want to volunteer and be part of this radio station, you're not going to jump in here and start mopping floors. You're going to be doing the news, doing the weather, doing the whatever it is you're passionate about, whether it's being right here behind this desk and helping people that are walking in the front, or on air listening to music or playing music. It's that kind of a thing.
The Daily Local News contacted Vi Simpson, local representative in the state senate, at her home today to get...
I got a little frustrated with people walking around with their iPods, and everybody seemed to be disconnected. And I realized people weren't really listening to the radio because there wasn't much of interest on the radio. But I had a lot of friends that had been listening to FHB, and I started listening, and I found it to be a totally different kind of radio station. I get a little adrenaline going sometimes when I'm reading the news. I have enjoyed tracking down some of the less publicized nonprofit organizations in town. I learned a lot about my community, even though I grew up here. Radio is exciting. I mean, when I come in here, there's always something going on. It's a great place to volunteer.
That line between the community in the radio station and the one outside, which is our community in which we live, that line's really pretty blurred, because everybody in here is part of what's going on out there. Everybody has a day job. We're business people and shopkeepers and hourly wage people and everybody. The people that are active on this side and the people that are listening to us on the other side are passionate about the things that they believe in. And a lot of that is community. They're passionate about community, but they're also passionate about getting good quality news and getting a variety of music, and particularly local music, and the types of things that you're not going to hear on commercial radio stations. We do free-form radio, which means the programmers in the air room play the music that they like and the music that they think that the audience would like. And because we're all members of the same community, that's quite often the same thing.
I think it's important from the idea that we had a news program that was directly relating to the African American community. And there needed to be a voice, I think, to get that out. So again, it was an opportunity that you had that, then I was asked to do it, and it was sort of like a mix. So I would like to think that not only are we talking about items that relate to African American culture, but that we can create some understanding with other folks who, other cultures who may or may not understand as much. So.
WFHB, is filling a very important role in transmitting, in serving as a bridge between the North American culture or Anglo-Saxon culture and the Hispanic, Latino culture.
De ti, antes de empezar con el programa en sí, las preguntas, dinos...
It presents not the other side of the story, but it presents the story in a way that my people can understand it.
It's a collaborative project between WFHB and the City of Bloomington to create a Spanish language public affairs radio show that would be available to all the Spanish speakers in our community. Volunteers like coming here and they like hanging out because it's a really social time for us. Every Friday at 6 p.m. there's going to be a group of people here hanging out, speaking Spanish, and it's a really festive time. It's fun.
Nightmare with their splendid, fantastic, delicious, delectable Take Her Favor.
It's just a lot of fun, and I like being able to say I have a radio show as like a teenager. Not many people can say that. It's such a rare experience. I don't know. I've never heard of any other cities that have like something like this, where like teens can be on the radio.
There's always certain people who just jump to a computer, jump to an iPod, and try to play stuff whenever they're hanging out. And we're all kind of like that. We all are into music and want to play stuff. You obviously can't just go to your house and twiddle like dials on a radio setup like this. You have to volunteer or go to kind of a program like this and have that happen. Give you some experience.
Youth radio, you can actually be on the radio as a teen and play music as long as it's clean. So thanks WFHB.
Yeah, it shows real trust in youth. It's not finishes 40 seconds in.
We have an open door policy. Anybody can come in and be the media. In fact, that's our tag, be the media. You don't know anything about music, you don't know anything about news or reporting, come in, we'll teach you.
Don't be intimidated that this is a radio station. There's so much propaganda out there about the media, whether it's radio or TV, that there's somehow some level of stardom that needs to be achieved to be part of something. And you walk in these front doors and I think anybody will feel pretty well right at home pretty quickly.
Give it a try. There are many duties and things that you could do here.
Put aside your preconceptions, come and learn something new, find something out about the community, meet some really amazing, wonderful people, and contribute something to the community.
It's a perfect opportunity to close this loop of knowledge between the people that have the knowledge and that people that are willing and able to receive it.
If you'd like to find out more about the station and how you can help to make a difference, just drop an email to volunteer@wfhb.org. To find out more about WFHB, call 323-1200